ruins of our cherished land. But it also brings something more. It brings memories. It awakens memories. And it will make memories. Memories that will write the story of Big Booty Land. So Los Angeles, let's write our story.
Guess who's back?
Crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night, I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling the mid beside and now, living my life, getting out drunk. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love, I'm calling you up to get down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough, turning you up to get down, down, down. I'm screaming out, fuck that. Put your hands up, put your hands up. Let's give it up.
Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I say this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
And when the night falls, loneliness calls. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel like it with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last
I
night.
wanna feel the need with
No
somebody.
way it was the last night.
Yeah, I wanna dance with
No
somebody.
way it was our last night.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
Cause you're the sky full of stars. It's all you.
With somebody who loves me. So I'll put my faith in something unknown. I'm living on but I'm tired of hope with nothing to hold. I'm living on
Yeah, bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think it's on bed. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think it's on bed.
and it's hard to learn, and it's hard to learn. You're giving me such sweet
Better than anything and everything you have done. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think it's on bed. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I think it's on bed.
Take it up. Slow, steady, undress, impress. Take it up. Slow, steady, undress, success.
You got a fast car, and I wanna take it to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make
make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. I ain't proud of all the punches that I've thrown in the name of someone I no longer know. For the shame of being young, drunk and alone. Traffic lights in the transmit radio. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I feel like I was drunk. Got tired for you. Had a feeling that I belong. Got tired for you.
That I want you, I say it. I would want myself. Let me please, my baby. I'll put you through hell. Just know me, yeah. So sure of yourself. Baby, don't get greedy. That shit won't end well.
I can't explain. I got a feeling that I can't erase. Just a feeling that I won't leave behind, because it's something that it's on my mind. I guess it goes like na 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 na.
Myself, please, baby. I'll put you through hell. Just know me, yeah.
I call it cappuccino.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, every second, night after night. I'll be fucking you for 7 days.
Yeah, man, I need ways. Tell me stuck all day. Someday. Yeah, it hurts to stay, but I want you to stay. Sometimes.
I don't fuck with you. You little stupid ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you. You little dumb ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you. I got a million straight things I'd rather fucking do than to be fucking with you. Little stupid ass, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do. Don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do. Don't give a fuck about you, bitch. I don't fuck with you.
Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. Still the one. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Still the one I kiss goodnight.
Attention Walmart, this is Gail Lewis signing out.
I'm slipping into the lava.
match another fight. I have a bottle, make 'em wanna bite. I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, no. Cause when you were boss, you could do what you want.
Well, I was sitting, waiting, wishing you believed in superstitions. Then maybe you'd see the signs. But Lord knows that this world is cruel, and I ain't the Lord. No, I'm just a fool, and I'm loving somebody. Don't make them love you.
Yeah, cause girls is players too. Yeah, cause girls is players too.
Must I always be waiting, waiting on you?
Yeah, cause girls is players too.
This sex so good, I shouldn't have to fuck for free. I go on and on, can't understand how I last so long. I must have the superpowers, last 223,000 hours, and it's cause I'm off of CC, and I'm off the Hennessy. And like your boy from Compton said, you know this dick ain't free. I got girls that I should've made pay for it, got girls that I should've made wait for it. I got girls that I cancel a flight back home, stay another day for it. You got attitude on nah, on agua, stomach on flat, on what's that?
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, so she ran away in her sleep. Young girl don't want that back calling me splurge. Ride me jump right off the curb. Bet this man fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Crack up the phone, I swear. Keep me a stick if they purge. Pour me another drink, 'cause I don't wanna feel a thing no more, hell no. I just wanna sip till the pain wears off. Don't wanna think about her, or wear a ring without her. Don't wanna hit the karaoke bar, can't sing without her. So make them drinks strong, 'cause brother, she's gone. And if I'm ever gonna move on, I'ma need some whiskey glasses, 'cause I don't wanna see the truth. She's probably making out on the couch right now with someone new. Yeah, I'ma need some whiskey glasses if I'm gonna make it through. I'ma be single, I'ma need a double shot of that heartbreak blues. cold shoulder echoes in time. You begging me to stay till the sun rose. Strange words come on out of a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke.
And it's happened once again. I'll turn to a friend, someone that understands, sees through the master plan. But everybody's gone, and I've been here for too long to face this on my own. Well, I guess this is growing up.
Pictures in passing time, you only smile like that when you drink.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
I wish I didn't, but I do.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
Don't you open up that window. Don't you let out the antidote. Yeah. Popping pills is all we know. Inhales is all we know.
Cause karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a thought. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? Sweet like honey. Karma is a cat. Purring in my lap cause it loves me. Flexing like a goddamn acrobat. Me and karma vibe like that.
Don't go through the front door.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
It's low key at the night show.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
So don't you open up that window.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
Don't you let out the antidote.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to make sure my cash is closed. Rap critics that say he's money cash holes. I'm from the hood, stupid, what type of backs are those? If you grew up with holes in your zap for toes, you celebrate the minute you was having dope. I'm like, fuck critics, you can kiss my whole asshole. If you don't like the lyrics, you can press fast forward. Got beef with radio if I don't play their show. They don't play my hits, well, I don't give a shit. So, rap mags try to use my black ass, so advertise to give them more cash for ads, fuckers. I don't know what you take me as, or understand the intelligence that Jay-Z had. I'm from rap, the richest niggas, I ain't dumb. I got 99 dollars, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven?
If heaven is anywhere, it's in a blue Tacoma, California. White magnolia in your hair, rays of gold shining on you. Ooh, if heaven is anywhere, it's never running out of golden road. Always having your hand to hold in a blue Tacoma, California.
Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling. And every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. Cause every time we touch, I feel the static. And every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you hear my heart beat so? I can't let you go. Want you in my life.
I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me. 'Cause I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me.
Could you whisper in my ear the things you wanna feel? I'll give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up on your own? I wonder where you are. I live with all your thoughts. I wanna wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all. So why don't you
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I can live in Detroit like a skillet, baby.
Can I take that?
It feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. Slowly drifting away, wave after wave, wave after wave, slowly drifting.
Even though we're going through it and it makes you feel alone, just know that I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you. Yeah.
If only I could stop the sunrise, we could lay here all night. If only I could learn to freeze time and hold you forever. If only I had one more day, I love you 25/8. If only I could stop the sunrise, we could lay here all night. If only I could learn to freeze time and hold you forever.
Baby, I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you.
Yeah. If only I.
I gotta learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross without you. Talking every day that I'm just about to figure it out without you. And I'm done sitting on without you. Fuck, I'm going out without you. I'm gonna tear this city down without you. I'm going body inclined without you. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry.
Ooh, this shit be hitting different.
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not. Threesomes with a fucking triceratops. Reptar, rapping as I'm mocking death rock stars. Wearing synthetic wigs made of handwars. Dreadlocks, red rock, harder than a motherfucking Flintstone. Making crack rocks out of
Touch the ground, don't be shy, girl, move the legs now. Shake your body like a belly dancer. Hey, drop it down, just wanna see you touch the ground. Don't be shy, girl, move the legs. Hey, girl, shake your body like a belly dancer.
Even when the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine, I got faith in you and I. So put your pretty little hand in it. Even when it's down to the wire, baby. Even when it's do or die, we can do it, baby, simple and plain. This is love, it's your thing.
And it's new. The shape of your body, it's blue. The feeling I got in it, ooh. It's a cool summer. It's cool. That's what I tell 'em, no rules. And break 'em up heaven, but
Yeah, I'm too sexy for this girl, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this ice, too sexy for that jet. Yeah. Okay, alright, that's fine. I'm too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame. Yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap, too sexy for that cap, too sexy for that chat. Yeah.
Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Came straight from the bottom to the top of my lifestyle. Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Came straight from the bottom to the top of my lifestyle.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're always complaining, always complaining. If money is such a problem, well, they got matches. Think we should rob them.
Might be like, yeah.
Pains me to see so many people are willing to learn how to trade stocks, but are simply just unsuccessful at it. It's not that you're a bad trader.
I'm up $953, $879, $1,300!
When people come up to me and they say, Dek, I'm just not a good stock trader, it's a whole bunch of baloney.
Oh my goodness, I just made $30,000. You guys want to see a show today? 20 grand in a day so far.
You know why I make so much money shorting? Because the answers are given to me.
$37,000. We're currently up 23,000, 24,000 right now. Let's go! This is high risk, high reward. Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm going for $100,000 today. $100,000 month coming its way, baby.
You may not know everything, but all of a sudden, it's gonna click.
$30,817 in the market today. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the stock market.
Says, baby, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. She says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. And the rain's gonna wash away, I believe it.
I'm the boss, and it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it.
She says, baby,
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. Woo! Man, it feels good. It feels good. Making sure every single trader is all dialed in here. Making sure every single trader is all set, ready to rock and roll. It feels great to be back. Traders, for those who do not know, I was not streaming last week. And the reason why I was not streaming last week is because I wanted to get prepared for the upcoming summer boot camp. If you guys do not know, this is the final boot camp we are ever doing. It starts on August 12th, which is going to be next Monday on Tradecaster. We'll go over all that stuff coming up in the future, guys. But today, as you guys can already tell, this market is so hot. This market is dumping like no other, and there is so much money to be made. So I'm going to turn off the music. I want to get ourselves prepared, and I want us focused over on this market. I want to make sure every single trader is getting ready to make some big time money, because I mean, it's almost just ridiculous. You guys take a look over on the S&P 500 on the daily chart. We have now fallen nearly $50. $50 in the matter of a month. The S&P 500 is down nearly 4% already today. The S&P 500 went all the way from 530. Now we're down to 513. We were down to 507 this morning. Traders, we almost fell $30 this morning. I mean, guys, it's been nuts here. So let's focus over on the markets. Let's get everyone prepared. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, hit that thumbs on up, and we're going to be all set, ready to go. And again, YouTube guys, I want to make a deal with you guys as always. We have our summer boot camp coming on up, and our summer boot camp is going to be for paid Tradecaster members only. But since again, we are going to probably disappear off the map for the next month and a half straight. If you guys again like this video, if you guys give it a thumbs on up, if you guys share it, if we get over 100 likes, thumbs up over on this video, I'll be live all week over on YouTube before our summer boot camp starts. So again, hit that thumbs on up. Let me see some love over in the chat room. And again, run up the chat right now. Spam the chat so I know that you guys are here ready to rock and roll. So, team, let's talk about what we have going on. Let's talk about what's happening so you guys are all prepared. So what really comes on down to is the S&P 500 is obviously overbought, right? That's what it is. Right? Let's not be around the bush here. The S&P 500 is overbought. We have seen that the SPY ran all the way up to 565. We had 6 of the last 8 months of consistent climbing where we have consistently seen brand new record highs. How crazy is that? Can you imagine that back in December we hit record highs, and then January we had record highs, then February, then March, then we had record highs, not in April, but then in May and June and July, we have consistently seen record highs. So the thing is, getting a little bit of a pullback wasn't that scary, wasn't that bad. But I will say is we have just given back all of July's gains, we have given back all of June's gains, and we are giving back at this moment all of May's gains. We're all the way down here. So the thing is, we are giving back about the last 3 months of gains where it is starting to get a little bit more concerning. Now, it's not just the S&P 500 though. We do want to realize that Europe's markets are down. China's markets are down. We are seeing Japan's markets are down. So we are seeing everything dropping globally at this time. Let's again head on over to Fox Runner, get our ideas, get ourselves all set, and make sure that every single trader is all set. So I just want to go over here, click the news alerts, and let's break on down everything we need to over on the S&P 500 here. So S&P 500, it says right here, team, it says the stock market's biggest crash of the year. The S&P 500 is now down $47 in the past 3 weeks. U.S. stock futures tumbled on Monday as part of the global market sell-off centered around the U.S. recession fears. Japan's Nikkei 225 plunged 12% in its worst day since the 1987 Black Monday crash for Wall Street. Here's what the U.S. stock market futures stand at the moment. The S&P 500 and futures are down 2.8% after the benchmark lost 1.8% on Friday. It's now down more. NASDAQ 100 futures lost 4% as big tech stocks got hit hard in early trading. It's down more right now. Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 778 points or 2%. It's now down more at this moment. So it says stocks continue to sell off on Friday, with July's weaker than expected jobs report fueling fears of a potential recession. The S&P 500 declined 1.8% to close the trading session at 5,346. The NASDAQ Composite fell 2.4% to finish at 16,000. The Dow Jones average dropped 1.51%. So we have just been seeing dropping and dropping and dropping over on Friday and into today. On the jobs front, non-farm payrolls increased by only 114,000 in July. According to the Labor Department, that's down 179,000 jobs, and that's what's bringing up fears of a recession. You can see fears of U.S. recession were the main culprit of the global market meltdown after Friday's July report. So it says right here as well, the SPY is currently having its worst drop in 2024. Over the past month, the S&P 500 has fallen nearly 8% and has given back $47 from its highs. On one hand, I think we all knew this would happen. The SPY was up nearly 18% on the year, hitting new record highs 6 of the previous 8 months. 2024 was also in the top 10 strongest starts to a year ever in the stock market as the SPY gained almost 20% in 6 months. The pullback on the SPY had to come at some point. The interesting thing is how this drop is just not in the United States market, it's in the global market. We're talking about Europe, China, Japan, etc., all nearly down 10%. This is what's more concerning, and as more momentum builds, fear is continuing to grow stronger. So, if you guys do not know, if we go into correction territory, that is going to be a 10% drop. When we go from the record high to a drop on down of 10%, that's when we are going to be in correction territory, and we are coming up to it. But here's a little bit of a sign of light. Here's a little bit of sign of positivity. This is what you need to know. The National Bureau of Economic Researches, the official of recessions, define a recession as a significant, widespread, and prolonged decline in economic activity. Dek, I thought you said this was positive. It is. What I want you guys to realize is that there has never been a time, there has never been a drop, there has never been a fade, there has never been a recession that the S&P 500 and the stock market has never recovered from. So here's the proof. Here's the picture. Every single time we have ever had a recession, a pullback, a drop, a time of despair, a time where people lost money, if you kept on holding on the S&P 500, it has always moved up to new highs. So we're going all the way back to 1870, all the way up towards 2023. We have always conquered every single pullback. So when people get nervous and they say to themselves, oh man, the S&P 500's falling, the S&P 500's dropping, great. That's a dip buy opportunity Because the thing is, when you have these chances to get in on lows, when you have these chances to be able to buy where we are in the red, that means, again, you're now getting at a lower price that maybe you missed out before, and now you could be able to see this thing continue to move on up. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to happen right at this moment. I'm not going to say that today and the next day and the next day is going to be green. But what I will say is that over the next few days, absolutely, you could get a great average for a dip buy for the market to start moving itself on up. So let's see what the SPY is going to do today. It says the SPY charting breakdown. The SPY is currently down over $20 today and just broke a 4% sell-off before the market even opens. It shows no signs of slowing down, and you must be prepared for what is up ahead. After over a $50 drop in the market, investors will be getting prepared for a bounce play soon. The main question that every single trader is asking themselves is, where is this bounce play going to be? Where can we get in with good opportunity and not just be going against the grain? So, looking at the chart below, two main areas that stand out are 503.50 and the 200-day moving average at 500. 503.50 is an area of past chart history, resistance and support. One of the best ways to know where a stock or ETF will bounce at is by looking at the previous areas of struggle. This is an area of previous bouncing and rejection, which should hold as we fall to this level. The 200-day moving average is one of the strongest bounce areas on the chart. 500 is not only the 200-day moving average support, but also a very strong psychological area of support. 100, 250, 500, these are strong areas where we always see some sort of rejection and bouncing. So this morning, we were all the way down towards around 507. The next big dip buy is going to be right around 503.50, and then the 200-day moving average is all the way down towards 500. So the S&P 500 was down towards the price of 507.83 this morning. This is kind of nuts to be thinking about, team. We have seen the SPY go from 523, or we actually seen the SPY go from 530 down to 507, a $23 drop over the weekend. Now we're going from 507 up to 514, a $7 bounce. Traders, you know what's nuts? I mean, sometimes on the S&P 500, we're looking to nail a $1 bounce play. We are seeing $7 bounces. We're seeing $20 drops like it's nothing. So what I want you guys to realize is this is the time that you guys can make astronomical amount of money. You guys have seen before where you see, all right, the S&P 500 has dropped $1. Ooh, I can make a lot of money off SPX on a $1 drop. Sometimes we don't even get, a dollar climb. It's just going up and down 80 cents, 50 cents back and forth. We are dropping $23 in a morning. We're bouncing up $7. We have so much opportunity to profit. You do not need to nail the major move of the day. You just need to maybe nail 1 to 2 minutes of predictability. That's what you guys need to figure out here. So when we take a look over on the SPY, we really want to ask ourselves, what is going to happen at the start of the day today? What is going to happen as, of course, we get ourselves prepared on this day? The S&P 500, who here thinks we go lower today? Who here thinks we get a bounce play right around 510? Who here thinks, again, today is going to be a day we see 500? Who here thinks we're going to go back up towards around 520? So, traders, this is what I'm thinking. I personally am thinking that I am going to look for probably some sort of bounce play back down near 510 this morning. I think a great area where we could be able to get filled, get some sort of dip buy, is going to be right around 509 to 510. That's where I think could be a great dip buy opportunity. We get filled, we start getting a bounce back on up. Obviously, we all know there is going to be some sort of big dip at some point. Just like we knew this crash was going to happen. We notice what we have here, team. All right, this is very important. All right, I'm going to kind of draw this out here. Everyone listen up here. What we have, which is so important, is that the S&P 500 moves up very slow and consistently. So when we are climbing on the SPY, we are moving up slow and consistently. We have a couple red days. We move on up. We have a couple red days. We move on up. We have a couple red days. We have a couple strong green days. We have a couple red days. What's happening on the SPY at this time? The SPY at this time is having a very strong straight down sell-off. There will be many investors who are now going to say, hey, we are going to get a dip buy here very soon, and we could be able to bounce back up to something reasonable. I'm not saying bounce up to 560, but I'm saying maybe bounce back up towards around 525. I'm saying we could bounce back on up towards around 520. We just went basically straight down of $50. If we bounce back up $20, that would be like within reason. So what I want to do is I do not want to miss this dip buy opportunity. This dip buy opportunity, I cannot tell you exactly where it's going to happen. I cannot tell you the exact dollar of where it's going to bounce at. Just like no one could predict we're going to go from 560 all the way down to 507.83. But the thing that I want you guys to realize is after having this $50 drop, after having this very steep pullback, people are going to be looking for where is the best dip buy opportunity. People are going to be asking themselves that. And while most people are going to be waiting right around 500, it's going to be it's going to be very tough to have the discipline to say, I'm going to wait all the way back on down towards around 500. I'm going to wait until we go down to 503. I'm going to wait until we go on down towards those low 500 areas, because guess what? We might not hit it. We might hit it. We might not hit it. I know it's going to be very frustrating if you jump in at 510 and it drops on down to 500 and you say, man, I should have waited till 500. And I know it's going to be very frustrating is if you don't jump in at 510 or 509 or 508 and then it bounces all the way up to 520 and you say, I just missed out on the biggest dip buy of the year. So you need to think about right now, what do you want to do? How do you want to handle this? Do you want to kind of DCA dollar cost average, maybe at 511, maybe at 509, maybe at 508, and if it drops down to 500, hey, that's just the chance that you're going to take? Or do you just say, hey, I'm not touching anything until sub 505? Sub 505, that's where I feel good. Sub 505, that's where I want to get filled on it. That's where I think the dip buy is going to be back on down towards the 200-day moving average. Traders, the thing is, it could easily be split. You could say we already fallen so much, buyer's going to get a dip buy back on up. You could also say, hey, Dek, you know what? It's not near its bottom. It still has a little bit lower to go. Hey, I can understand that as well. So let's go ahead. Let's throw out a chat vote and let's see what everyone is thinking about. Let's see what everyone's doing here. So let's go with will the SPY bounce today? So will the SPY bounce? Or will the SPY crash? So are we going to go, let's say, back up today? We will see bouncing back up to 520. Or are we going to crash back on down towards 500? What do you guys think? So if you guys are over on YouTube, if you guys are watching over on YouTube right now at this time, I want you guys to go ahead and type out either bounce or again, crash. What do you guys think is going to happen on YouTube? Bounce or crash? If you guys are again over on Tradecaster, everyone right now, go ahead, cast their vote. So I want to make sure you guys are all set. Noel, what is the platform to choose on Lightspeed for shorting? Any platform you choose. I have Lightspeed Trader. So Lightspeed Trader is the platform that I have, but you guys can type out, you guys can use anyone. I mean, the thing is just the platform. You're still going to have all the shorting features. So let's see what you guys are thinking here. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Everyone, again, type on out either bounce or crash, bounce or crash, bounce or crash. At this moment, team, we have 90% of the chat room saying crash. 90% almost saying that we are going to crash. I mean, that's a big chunk of traders right there. That is a big chunk of traders at this moment. So everyone cast your vote if you guys have not yet in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop the poll. 88%. Wow. 88% of the chat room. All right. I want to make sure that you guys are all good. Guys, SPY already starting to get a little bit weaker. Market's about to open up in about a minute and a half here. So let me again switch out our scanners so that we're all set, ready to go, because I don't want to miss anything at the start of the day. Traders, there is going to be money to be made. Again, I wasn't here last week, and I'm jumping right back into the party, as you guys can see. You know, the thing is, it is going to be nuts. Now, you could trade SPY or you could trade SPX. SPX is going to be running wild today. Absolutely. Things are going to be nuts all across the board. I want to get everything all set up right here and just have ourselves a day. I want to have ourselves a day, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Happy Money Monday, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the greatest show on the market. Oh, baby. It's going to be a time to come alive. SPY, are we going all the way on down? I'm thinking if we do bounce, it's going to be right around 509. If we do bounce, I think it's going to be right around that 509 area. Oh, man, it's going to be a day. It's going to be a day. Everyone smash those thumbs up if you guys haven't over on YouTube yet. What a time, baby. What a time to be alive. Market goes live in 15 seconds. Oh, man. I want to look for that 508.75, 509 dip buy, but I also know we could easily still see that 503 mark. Part of me wants that 509 dip buy, 508.75 dip buy. I really would like that. And guys, we are starting off with a dump right away. We're starting off with a dump right away, down towards 510.27. Man, we're moving dollars already on the S&P 500. 510, we came on down to 510.27, right on up to 511.60. I would wait for that little crack underneath 510. But I mean, we are going to have tons of opportunity today. Now, let's also think about something. Do we have any sort of economic data today? Could we have something come out at 10 o'clock to just shift the events in the market? Right, let's see here. Monday, August 5th, 8:30, already passed. 9:45, PMI services, ISM services at 10 a.m. So the thing is, we could definitely see a lot of action, guys, coming on up at 9:45, at 10 o'clock. I do not have any orders at this time. No positions on my box. 10 o'clock, we will be seeing a lot of action. 10 o'clock, we will be seeing a lot of hype. I just want to kind of connect some of the dots here, see what we could get. Yeah, I still think, again, the perfect dip buy starting off would be somewhere in that 509, 508.70-ish area. And then trying to get that dip buy back on up and, work all the way back up towards, 515. But remember, if we go underneath, 508, there's a clear path all the way down towards 503, 500. I mean, it just, part of me says, Dek, you got to dip buy soon. We were at 565 3 weeks ago. We were at 530 on Friday. We're now down $22 on the day. We're down 4% this morning. Traders, let me ask you guys something. What happens when the S&P 500 falls 7% in the same day? Does anyone know? They turn off the entire stock market for 10 minutes. If we fall another 3%, which would be about a $40 drop, if we go underneath $500 today, there's a chance that they pause the stock market. Nothing moves for 10 minutes. It's eerily quiet. Everyone's sitting back. Nothing happens whatsoever. So, I want to make sure that you guys got that. But, we'll see if that happens. The only time I've ever seen that happen, ever, was back in 2021. Where we fell over 7% on a day. They paused and froze the entire market. And after they opened it, was one of the biggest bounces. So right now, traders, S&P 500. We still have it, basically consolidation time right now. Consolidation on the SPY at this moment. Not anything too wild, not anything too crazy just yet. SPY kind of sitting back. SPX down towards 5,125. Remember, team, I'll just always say it. The SPX is basically like the crazy version of the SPY. So again, if I make $100 on SPY, I could make $500 on SPX. If I make, let's say, $2,000 on the SPY, I can make $12,000 on SPX. You can make a lot of money, but you could also lose a lot of money trading SPX. So some people like trading it. It all depends on your risk. It all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. It all depends on what you're doing as a trader. But this market, traders, right now is obviously a crazy one. Already down $21 on the day. And obviously at some point, we are going to see this bounce. There's going to be one day, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, where we start going back up towards 520 and we see an $8 rip on up. And you think to yourself, man, imagine if I caught an $8 climb. Imagine if I caught this $8 move. I mean, hey guys, could 510.27 be the bottom? Could 510.27 be the bottom? I mean, we have 90% of the traders in chat thinking that we are going to go down towards 503 today, 505 today. That's 9 out of 10 people think that we are going to go lower on the SPY. Now, do you guys think we're going to go lower because what? Because the market's falling already? Is there anyone here that says, oh, well, I don't think we're going to go lower. We already fell $50. Now we're going to get the dip buy. So I know a lot of times people just go with the momentum. You see the momentum going down. Oh, it's always going to go down. But there's also always going to be a new opportunity to profit. If I see a $50 drop, now maybe I have a $50 opportunity to be able to bounce back on up. If I know the S&P 500 always moves up over time, after seeing a $50 pullback and giving back the last 3 months of gains, maybe it's a good opportunity to get a dip buy here pretty soon. So I don't mind. If you're in at 510, that's awesome, right? I've been hyping up 509, 508-ish, and then I'm thinking 500 could be the bottom. But 10 o'clock is going to be coming on up. We'll see what we get, traders. It's going to be, again, a very wild time here. Right now, we are still watching, traders, giving this a little bit of time at this moment. No forcing, staying smart in all cases. And I think, probably the best thing for us to do is going to be waiting until, again, that, going to be waiting until probably that, 10 o'clock time. I hate how sometimes, I don't know why it does this. Sometimes Trade Ideas gets like, their charts get very clunky where I got to change the time frame to kind of get it to look normal again. So sometimes that happens on my charts as well. That might happen on your charts. Right now, team, we are still sitting between kind of that 510 to 512 area. I would still call this, some sort of consolidation at this moment. Now, remember, as we talked about, team, let's just head on over to CNBC. There's a few big things that we really want to stand on out here while we wait for 9:45 news, while we wait for 10 o'clock news. First thing we want to talk about, Bitcoin. Traders, you guys check it on out. Bitcoin is also getting destroyed at this moment. Year to date, still up 16%. Year to date, still up 16%. Pretty awesome to see. But over the last 5 days, Bitcoin dipped underneath 50,000. How many people right now are loading up at Bitcoin at the 50,000 mark? How many people are saying, oh, guys, Bitcoin 50,000, I'm getting in. 50,000. Because if you guys take a look over the past, let's say, 6 months, the past 6 months, we have bounced off 60,000, ran up to 71,000, 60,000, bounced up to 71,000, 60,000, bounced up to 71,000. Here's again 56,000, back up towards around 60,000. Now we're back on down to 50,000 for the first time. So, are we going to be able to bounce off this and go right back up to 60? But Bitcoin, over the last, again, couple days, has been crashing as the SPY has continued to crash, as the SPY has been getting weaker. We've also seen that Warren Buffett has been selling shares of Apple, which has been adding to the sell-off, adding to the dropping, adding to the weakness here. So if we want to read this a little bit more, just getting every single person prepared. Dow drops 1,000 points. NASDAQ crater 6%. So US stock futures fell sharply. We are seeing Japan's market fall, plunge 12%, its worst day since 1987. Fears of a US recession are the culprit of disappointing July's jobs report. Investors are also concerned that the Federal Reserve is behind cutting interest rates. So now everyone's getting nervous. Nvidia tumbled 9%. Apple created more than 8%. Other losers, Tesla down 7%. Super Microcomputer down 9%. Guys, let's take a look at some of these other plays. Let's take a look at, what else is getting affected by this right now. So let's go over to the most loved stock in the stock market. It seems like Nvidia. Nvidia at this moment, first time underneath $100. Now Nvidia traders, let's see, if we go back to a weekly chart, on Nvidia. Nvidia is still pretty nuts. If you're asking me what's the best dip buy on Nvidia, somewhere probably back on down in the 70s would be the best dip buy over on Nvidia. Trying to get it off that 50-day moving average. A little side note, guys, if you guys ever go over to a weekly chart and you type in the 50-day moving average, you guys can actually see it is always the best dip buying opportunity, or excuse me, the 200-day moving average I was going to say, but 50 days still great, is always the best dip buy opportunity over on the S&P 500. Take a look right here, team. This is a weekly chart, and actually we could switch on even to a monthly chart. This is what I was saying right here. Monthly chart. Monthly chart, guys, I apologize. 50-day moving average is the best dip buy in history on the S&P 500. We could go all the way back to where the 50-day moving average, you could see bounce play, 108, absolutely perfect. And that's all the way back in 2011. You can see 2016, we had bounce play off the 50-day moving average, absolutely perfect. You could see back in 2018, 235 bounce play off the blue line, absolutely perfect. S&P 500 bounce play off again 2021, 2020 lows, absolutely perfect. 2022 bounce play off the 50-day moving average, absolutely perfect. Perfect bounce, perfect bounce, perfect bounce, perfect bounce. Where's the next perfect bounce? 420, 430. 430 would be the next perfect bounce. That's not saying it's going to get there. That's not saying we're going to drop another, $90 here soon. But I will say, you ever see the 50-day moving average on a monthly chart? 50-day moving average right here? It is the perfect bounce over and over and over and over and over again. All right? So I do want to make sure that you guys got that, you guys understand that, you guys could see that here. Let's see what it looks like over on NVDA. NVDA, guys, you take a look over on this. NVDA, this on a monthly chart, it still looks ridiculous. This company has still gone from $13 all the way up to $140 in the matter of a year, right? A matter of a year and a half, excuse me. $13 all the way up to $140. I would say, again, very reasonable or better areas to get it, somewhere back into the 70s. If you can get NVIDIA in the 70s, I think that's an incredible dip buy. Let's take a look over on Tesla. Tesla right here, back on down towards around 190. I think, again, the best area to get involved in Tesla is going to be somewhere in the 120s, 130s. You can get Tesla, because when you guys take a look at it, Tesla is still on a big downtrend, right? Tesla's still on a big downtrend here. You go back over to, let's say, a weekly chart over on Tesla, you guys can still see right here. Connect the dots. Connect the dots here, people. You're still on one big downtrend over on Tesla. And really, you probably don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm going to jump in on Tesla maybe until this downtrend breaks. When this downtrend breaks, it's much better. Apple taking a very large hit. Now again, Apple is one of the peaks of the peaks, one of the best companies in the stock market. Every single year, it just seems like it moves up higher and higher and higher. But now we do have Warren Buffett selling shares of Apple. So guess what's happening? We are seeing a very big pullback. We are seeing a very big drop at this time. So we will keep our eyes peeled on it. Now, guess what we do have though? S&P 500 got all the way up towards around 516. 510.27 traders. Is that going to be the low of the day? Is that going to be the low? Now, let's also remember this, team. In the matter of 4 minutes, we do have some news coming on up. And in 15 minutes after that, we have some other brand new news. So you guys can take a look here. 9:45, we have, again, PMI data. At 10 o'clock, we have ISM even service data. So we do have more coming on up here. I want to make sure that you guys are all set. That is the SMA. I don't use the EMA for anything other than the 13 EMA. That's it. Also, a lot of people are saying, hey, Dek, does a Fox Runner have a tutorial, or can you help me with it? They actually just came out with a tutorial that they sent me. So if you guys ever need help with your Fox Runner news scanner, check out that video. That is a brand new tutorial that you guys can go ahead and check on out if you guys ever need help setting up anything over on your Fox Runner news scanner so that you guys are all set. So check out that video. If you guys need any help, that is a full tutorial, and that will help you with anything that you guys need. All right. So traders, we are again still staying smart here, watching to see. All right, traders, traders, traders. Right now, team, we got about 2 minutes, or excuse me, about 1 minute. We'll see what's going to be happening here. At the money, contracts going to be tough today with the volatility being this high. Absolutely. I mean, traders, I'm going to let you guys know right now. If we're talking about contracts and silverback, thank you for bringing this on up. Contracts are going to be probably pretty expensive today. The only way you're probably not going to get a super expensive contract today is if you guys do a contract that is very far out of the money. Now, why is very far out of the money inexpensive? Well, because the odds of it happening are not as good, right? When you say, I bet the SPY is going to get up to 520, your contract is going to be very cheap because 520 is pretty far away. But what's the good news? The volatility today. You could get up to 520 today. So the thing is, I personally probably wouldn't do same day contracts today. Same day contracts, while they will be the least expensive, you are going to have massive time decay, especially if, again, the stock or the ETF goes against you. Then on top of that, traders, it just comes on down to, I personally would probably do either tomorrow's expiration if you want to day trade, or even the next day's expiration. Then you also probably want to just go slightly out of the money. Slightly out of the money, 2-day expiration. Try to, again, define the cheapest contracts you can. Understand that things are expensive because every single investor is looking to get involved in the S&P 500 today for some sort of dip buy or more blood in the water on the downside. People want to be able to see these, see these plays. People want to be able to make money today. So right now, traders, the SPY still trying to move on up. We have already seen the SPY bounce from, again, 510, now back up towards, again, 515.98, and it looks like a brand new high of the day is coming on up. Guys, here comes a brand new high of the day, 516.04. Another brand new high of the day at this time. So what's happening? You might say, Dek, I thought the stock market was crashing. Dek, I thought you said the stock market was dumping. I thought you said the stock market was falling. What the heck? We're missing out on the dip buy. Traders, what did we talk about? We talked about the S&P 500 falling $50. We talked about the S&P 500 falling 8%. We talked about the S&P 500 having its biggest drop of 2024. What do you think investors are doing at this moment? They're saying, hold on a second. We just fell nearly 8% in about 3 weeks. We just fell 4% in 1 day. We are now getting the cheapest and the best and the most affordable dip buys that we have seen in the last 3 months. Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, okay, I'm going to buy in right now because this is the S&P 500, and we know the S&P 500 goes up over time. So if I can get the lowest price we have been in the last 3 months, and I can get in after, again, an 8% drop, yeah, I'm going to buy in on that. That's what traders are doing. So the thing is, you can't be upset if you're missing the dip buy. You can't be upset if you're saying, what the heck, I thought the stock market is crashing. The stock market already fell 8% in a matter of 3 weeks. People are now looking for a dip buy. People are now saying, hey, let's go ahead and buy it back on up. Let's go ahead and get a cheap, affordable price. So that is what we're seeing at this time. So we are seeing the SPY at this moment getting a dip buy. We are seeing the S&P 500 starting to move itself on up here. And it's just because traders and investors are seeing this as an opportunity to get in at the lowest area that's been in 90 days. I am seeing people across the board right now, team. I'm seeing Fidelity is not allowing people to log in. I am seeing Thinkorswim is not allowing people to log in. I'm seeing Robinhood is not allowing people to log in. Traders, I'm having no issues today. I'm live. I'm good to go. So guys, as I always say, if you guys want to use, again, my broker, I don't know why people don't use the best brokers out there. It's like, oh, I use Robinhood, one of the worst brokers out there. It's like, why do you use that? Oh, because they're free. Yeah, but they give you all these problems, right? So the thing is, I use, again, brokers that I believe are the best of the best. So again, I don't have issues. So again, that's why I don't use Thinkorswim. I don't use E-Trade. I don't use Fidelity. I don't use Robinhood. I don't use Webull. I don't use any of those. And most likely, the reason why a lot of those aren't, moving or why some of them might not be loading is because think about how many people are probably trying to trade today. how many people are logging in. Probably their servers are just getting, you know, blasted from having too many people online trying to figure it out. Also, team, you know what's pretty interesting? Let's take a look over here. Team, what's pretty interesting? What's one thing that stands out on the scanners here today that is like, wow, that's kind of different? Can anyone see it? What's one thing that stands out on the scanners today where it's like, wow, that's a little bit different? Wow, like that's kind of crazy. The big thing that I realize is take a look at the penny stock board right here, team. The best top gainers and top losers on the day. The only top gainer today is MGOL. That's it. And it's about to come crashing all the way on down. The penny stock market, team, we have a 20% gap up, and then it's 11%, 11%, 10%. The best top gainers in the entire stock market are only up 10%, 11%. What is this board usually filled with? This board is usually filled with a 200% top gainer, a 150% top gainer, a 98%, a 95%, an 89% top gainer. We're at 12%, 11%. Take a look at the last 30 minutes, how every single one is in the red. Guys, that's kind of nuts to see. That's kind of crazy to see how we are seeing weakness and dropping and dropping and fading. Every single thing is in the red here. So, penny stocks, obviously not worth playing. Penny stocks are not worth playing here. Guys, S&P 500, what a dip buy so far. If anyone got in at 510, congratulations. You have a $7 bounce already. So I want to make sure you guys are all realizing it, what we have, what we're seeing at this moment. So SPY, Deck, are you going to jump in on the call side, on the upside here? Again, it is today is going to be tricky. It is going to be tough. All you need is one perfect trade. Now, guys, I know some people always say this. Some people sometimes say, Deck, buy something. I want to buy something. Okay? That is not the mentality I want. If you are saying, Deck, buy something, I want to buy something, right? Have a game plan. People are, you know, I already see a couple people saying, man, I can't believe, again, I didn't buy a 510. I can't believe I didn't buy a 511. I can't believe I didn't buy a 512. You know, have a game plan and stick to it. And if you don't have a game plan, again, start developing one right now. So let's develop a game plan together. Figure out what you guys want here. Your game plan might be, all right, Deck, I think the dip buy is now going to happen. If you think a dip buy is now going to happen, we have now gone from 510 up to 517. If you want to get a dip buy, what's the best way to do this? Do you want to jump in at the high of the day at 517.89 and hope we go up higher? Or do you want to wait for a pullback back down towards around 515? 515 is a nice $5 increment. This could be an area where the next dip buy is going to be at. You can continue to hold onto this nice trend line. And now again, you could say to yourself, all right, hey, I want to look for a dip buy around 515 close to this uptrend. Okay, hey, that's a good looking opportunity for a dip buy. You could also say to yourself, hey, I think we're going to reverse on down here soon, Deck. I think, again, we're now falling very good. I think we just had a very nice spike on up. And I think, again, as we get closer towards around 519, 520, I'm actually going to look for a put and start looking for a reversal back on down, as I think, again, we're going to struggle right at that 520, 521 mark. Well, that's another opportunity. That's another dip buy. So what I want you guys to do at this moment is not just, again, sit here and say, I'm going to do whatever Deck does. Think about where you think a turn is going to happen. Where is a reversal going to happen? When are we going to see a shift in momentum where we are either going to get another bounce play back on up, or is this momentum on the upside going to continue, or are we going to start reversing back on down anytime soon? Well, we do also want to remember that, you know, coming on up in the next 7 minutes now, we have another set of press releases. So we do have data coming on out at 10 o'clock. So your game plan might be, all right, Deck, I think a bounce play is happening. 515 is going to be an uptrend. Bounce off 515 after 10 o'clock. We get a bounce 515 entry. A 514 is going to be my stop loss. Stock moves itself on up to 520 is going to be my target after, again, the 10 o'clock news. Start trying to figure out how can you put the odds in your favor. Your also plan could be, well, I'm going to wait for the news, crack 515, jump in on the put side, stop loss above 515, and again, look for this to drop all the way back down to 510. Traders, I am not a fortune teller. I do not know what the news is going to say at 10 o'clock. I do not know what the S&P 500 is going to do. I think the best way to trade the S&P 500 is by looking for good, strong, sturdy areas. The easiest dip buy that I could ever tell you is the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average will be the easiest and the best dip buy you can get. But it comes on down to, are we going to get there? Same exact thing with today. I wanted to get involved if we saw 509 to 508. I was going to look for a dip buy. Guess what? We came on down towards 510. These are again some dip buy opportunities. Other than that, I've been waiting the last 30 minutes to see what's going to happen at 5:45, and I want to see what's going to happen at 10 o'clock. And then, of course, come up with a new game plan. Then, of course, come up with some sort of new setup and go from there. So the thing is, traders, a lot of people are going to play the guessing game today. I guess it's going to go on up. I guess it's going to go on down. A lot of people are going to take massive losses. Oh, well, Dek, why do I always lose in the stock market? Well, what'd you do today? Well, I thought it was going to bounce, so I bought in on it. Okay, well, what about your stop loss? What about a target? I don't know. I was just hoping it would bounce on up. Right? Have everything literally pinpoint to the dollar. Have everything pinpoint to the exact penny of why you're getting in, where you're getting in, how you're again formulating your plan. So I want to see what's going to happen at 10 o'clock here. 10 o'clock in the next 5 minutes, I want to see which way the market moves. I want to see which way the market's going to be going. I want to see where the hype and the action's going to be. And then again, pull the trigger. The thing is, team, all you need is one trade. One trade can make you $500 to $1,000. You're all good here. Would every single person here be happy if I made you $500 today? Would every single person here be happy if you guys walked away with $1,000 in cash here today? Would every single person say, yep, that made me happy, I'm good to go now? I think so. So that's what I want from everyone here, is I want us to have one good, solid, perfect plan where everyone can feel confident and then go ahead and pull the trigger. So let's see, guys. We got 5 minutes. We're going to see what's going to be coming on up. We'll see where this hype and momentum is going to take us. And then, of course, go from there. Right now, traders, S&P 500, crack of that 515 mark, things can start getting weaker, especially as we're coming down to that area right as we're 3 minutes away from brand new news. Charles Schwab is down now. So again, team, you might be fine. And if you are in, that's great. But I'm just going to type out, traders are letting me know that TOS is not letting some traders log in. Schwab is not letting some traders log in. We also have what else? Robinhood is not letting some traders log in. So let's see what happens here, team. A little bit of a pullback at this time, team. Waiting and watching, looking for this next possible move, this next possible setup. Guys, SPY right now. Trying to hold on up, trying to stay alive, trying to stay set here over on the SPY. Guys, let's see what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes here. Next 2 minutes over on the S&P 500. And let's see what we got. Obviously, we are still waiting for this play. We're still waiting for this, main move for us on the day. Now, you can gamble. The gamble, if you guys saying, Dek, I want to gamble here. The gamble is you are most likely going to see a $1, $2, $3 move on the S&P 500 in the next 3 minutes. That's the gamble. Now, is that gamble going to be up or down? Is the S&P 500 going to get a move towards the upside in the next 2 minutes? That's because we got news coming on out. Or is the S&P 500 going to get that drop in the next 2 minutes? Because, again, we have that news coming on out. So there are going to be people that, again, we don't know which way this is going to go, but are going to say, hey, I'm going to take a little gamble, Deck. I'm going to try to make some quick money right here. 10 o'clock, I know news comes on out. Could be good, could be bad. I got a feeling it's going to be bad. I'm doing puts right now at 516, looking for a drop down to 514. It'll pay me out $1,000 if that happens. Hey, I'm rooting for you. That's all I could say. I want you guys to be aware of what could be happening. So again, 30 seconds away over on the S&P 500 if anyone's interested on that. Right now, again, SPY still trying to hold on up. Got about 20 seconds until we should be able to see a little bit of action. Right now, again, trend line still pretty good. Uptrend still pretty good at this moment. And we do want to see the SPY over on this play being able to move itself on up. SPY right here and right now, team. Guys, getting a little bit weaker. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Now it's getting a little bit of that bounce. There's that green candle. There's that green candle over on the SPY. Again, gambling over on the calls. Gambling over on the calls for those who are making it work. There's your pop. So gambling over on the calls. There is the pop there over on the S&P 500. Now, as you guys can see, it's all about, again, being ready and being aware of what's happening, when it's happening, why these plays are happening. Seeing that, hey, you know what? This could be able to happen at this time for this reason because of what? We cannot predict. There's no one that can predict how high, what penny it's going to go up to. But if we're aware of, again, different circumstances of different press releases coming on out and different news articles that are going to come on out, we can understand where different bursts are going to happen, where explosions are going to be happening on the stock market, where we could be able to bring in hype, we could bring in momentum, or we could see a reversal. So right now, again, calls have it. Calls have it. And it looks like we're going to be breaking 520 pretty soon. Deck, how high is the SPY most likely going to get up to at this point? Well, we most likely are going to see a pullback in the future. But the question is, how high are we going to get up to first? I'm probably going to let you guys know that I think a pullback is going to be happening somewhere in like the 523s. That's just a hunch. I don't see too much. Again, chart-wise, I'm thinking 523 to maybe even touching 524. We start getting a pullback from there. If I see a 524s, I'll probably look for a put contract back on down. The reason why I say that is because that would be getting close to, again, where we started in pre-market. That would be close to now a $15 bounce play to the upside. I would probably look for some sort of put contract as we go on up towards around 524. So far, we have recovered $10 from the low of the day so far. So far, we have recovered about a whole percentage point on that. So right now, team, see how much higher this thing can go. SPX, big green candle as well. Now I'll say, if we see 524s, I'm going to start looking for a put contract. But that's another $4. So I'm basically looking for a $15 climb before, again, I start looking for a drop. Team, think about things. Think about this. Try to think about your stock trading as in the odds are against you to lose. That's how I want you guys to think about your stock trading at this point. So let's think about in this manner, okay? If we could start trading in this way, if we start thinking about this, if we start changing our mindset, not I hope I win, I hope I pick the right stock, I hope I pick the right direction. If we change our mindset to be, how can we have the odds where if we lose, that's against the odds? So we have a 90% chance of winning and there's only a 10% chance of us losing. How could we do that? Well, today, for instance, we had a 4% drop in the stock market. Traders buying in for a dip buy, they're saying we're dropping 4% before the market even opens. There's a great chance that we're going to see the market move on up. It's the best dip buy in the last 3 months. We're coming down to correction territory. We're coming on down to levels we haven't seen since May. Traders are saying, let me jump in on this area. There's a better chance that investors buy in on this than continue the sell-off on down after the last 3 weeks of falling. So what I want to think about it at this moment is where can I get in on a put contract to see a reversal back on down that I would say this has bounced so far up already that I have a better chance of seeing a reversal than I do of seeing it move on up. And I'm thinking probably after a $15 bounce play, after a 1.5% recovery, moving back up towards around pre-market highs, I think, again, the odds are now back in my favor where I could say, hey, I don't think it's going to continue to move on up. And there's actually a better chance it's probably going to reverse back on down after coming up to my area. So think about it like that. Think about how can I trade where the odds are so far in my favor that if I lose, it should be questioned. That's how we want to be trading, team. S&P 500 here. Right now, SPY's still watching this thing. Big bounce. All this news at 10 o'clock. I'm letting you know again, 524 is where I will get a dip buy in. Dip buy opportunity here, team. Want to make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Man, today is going to be a big day, big opportunity. Now, traders, as you guys know as well, our boot camp, our summer boot camp does start next Monday. Next Monday, traders. This is, again, a boot camp nobody, and I mean it, guys, nobody has ever done before. So I just want to kind of go over some details over on this if you guys have not seen it. Our boot camp, this is going to be the last boot camp I ever do. Now you might say, Dek, why is that? It's just because I don't think it will ever be better. I don't think it will ever be beaten. So this is the last boot camp I am ever doing. So if you guys miss it, you guys miss it. The boot camp is going to be 30 days long. Every 3 days, you will be switched with a brand new mentor. So we are going to have 10 mentors. We are going to have 3 days with each mentor, and you are going to learn everything that they know and how they became a full-time stock trader so that you guys can be able to learn the same exact thing. So let's just think about that for a second, guys, here. Just think about how crazy this is. Just think about how this could absolutely change your trading forever. You want to learn how to become a successful stock trader. You want to learn how to make money. You want to learn how to be able to profit in the stock market. So you learn from one person. What if I could bring 9 other people, 10 traders total, that are full-time stock traders to teach you their strategy? Because maybe my strategy doesn't work. So you learn from trader B, or trader C, or trader D, or trader E, or trader F, and maybe finally trader G, that's the strategy you love. There are so many ways to make money in the stock market. I wanted to not only teach you how I make money, but I wanted to bring over 9 different friends and family members that I know, and I call them family because I'm so close with them, on how well they trade so that you guys can be successful in the stock market. That's what I want you guys to be able to understand, is that there's so many strategies. So it is going to be 30 days long. Every 3 days, you guys are going to get a brand new mentor. Each mentor is going to teach you how they become successful in the stock market. And then by the end of the 30 days, you'll have all these different strategies so that you're all set, ready to go. That's what is going to be this boot camp. Not just sit here and stare at it again, have a notepad and that's it. It is going to be, hey, I like this guy, I don't like this guy. Ooh, I kind of learned some things from this guy. Ooh, I kind of learned some things from this guy. Ooh, maybe I learned a little bit from this guy. Maybe I learned a little bit from this guy. So that is going to be the beauty of it, guys. That is going to be the insane thing about it, which I'm very excited about. Now, guys, I will say this. This boot camp will not be free. It will not be free, and I know that's a little bit of a bummer. And the reason, though, why it's not free is just because the amount of people that are working on this boot camp. So, how will you have access to this boot camp, guys? To have access to this boot camp, all you have to do is you have to be a TradeCaster member, but you cannot be on a monthly membership. To have access to the boot camp, you must be on either a 6-month, a 12-month, or a lifetime membership. So that is going to give you access to the boot camp, and of course, access to the boot camp. So if you are on a monthly membership right now, you guys can go over type in right here, boot camp. Go over to a 6-month, a 12-month, or a lifetime membership and type in boot camp and click apply, and you guys are going to get 10% off. And then you guys will be all set, ready to go. But if you are not on a 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime membership, you will not have access to this. So we are going to be emailing special links to these people only. So just a little heads on up, team. Every single person that is on a monthly membership will not have access to this. Head on over, get yourself again a yearly membership, type in the word bootcamp. You will get 10% off. Then click confirm subscription. You'll be all set, ready to go, and you'll be all ready to rock and roll for next week. All right? So again, you must be upgraded. You must be set. You must be good to go. 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime membership. Everyone's getting 10% off. Type in bootcamp, and you'll be all set, ready to go. Size Milk Deck, 10 mentors. It shouldn't be free. No, I know. I just feel bad ever. I always try to give you guys as many free things as I possibly can. So again, everyone, make sure you guys go check that on out right now. Upgrade, get yourself all set. But you will not have access if you guys do not, again, have the 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime membership. So make sure you guys are all good. Also, guys, if you guys do not sign up by Friday, you guys will not get 10% off. So don't wait until Saturday. Don't wait until Sunday. Don't wait until next Monday. You have to get on this week, or again, you will not get the 10% off. So just a heads up for every single person. I'm going to be sending out a ton of information on all the mentors, on their strategies, on their P&Ls, on everything, guys. So I'm going to be sending out a tons of information on social media, on my email list, sending it to all you guys. So don't worry. I'm going to be sending all that to you guys. Kush, will you be running your chat? Again, the days that I'm not mentoring, of course, I will be here. But again, the days that I am doing the bootcamp, I will not be live streaming because, again, I'll be with bootcamp members only. So again, the days that I'm with bootcamp members only, I'm not live streaming. But again, the days that I am using the days that I'm not, the main guy, then yes, I will be live streaming. Hey, don't worry. I'll be sending all the emails on out with all the other mentors. Some of them you will know. Some of them you will not know. So again, you guys will see. It's going to be very exciting and great, and I'm fired up for it. But again, take advantage of it, team. Take advantage of it. All right, we got the SPY still falling right now. We got the SPY still fading. Let's keep this party going. Right now, SPY still watching this one, traders. Staying alert. Staying ready at all times here. Right now, SPY still watching. Guys, could the SPY, imagine, go all the way back on down to 510? Anyone riding, gonna see if that could be able to ride on out? SPY all the way up towards, again, that 520.93, back on down to 516. Thinking, hey, Dek, I think it's going to go all the way back on down to 510 today. Guys, so the bootcamp, I'll be sending all information throughout this entire week. So expect an email every single night with new information, new updates on the mentors, different, again, discounts, things along those lines so that you guys are all set. So just a heads on up. If you guys follow me on social media, part of the chat room, whatever, I will be sending all information out to every single person. Every single person will be all set, dialed in. Right now, traders, we are watching every single move, staying alert. Right now, team SPY still waiting over on this play. All it takes sometimes, as we know, is one perfect trade to be able to make this whole entire day all, worth it. I love this action so far. SMCI has been taking a big beating. I mean, $1,200 all the way on down towards, again, $500. Jess Trades. Jess, ask over on YouTube. Why is the title of the video over on YouTube, "The Stock Market is Crashing"? Jess Trades, asking again, why is the title of the YouTube video today saying, why is the stock market crashing? Great question, if I may add. Great question. I always say there's no such thing as a stupid question. So I'm glad, again, you're coming across the chat here today. I don't know, maybe it's because the S&P 500 has fallen 4% just this morning alone. Maybe it's because the S&P 500 has dropped $50 in the last 3 weeks. Just maybe it's because the S&P 500 has been in full panic mode over, again, the last 2 weeks here. Maybe, just maybe, again, we can head on over to CNBC.com and we could see that every single person, Dow drops 900 points as, again, it craters 4% in global market rout. A global sell-off is happening and fleeing to safe havens. The 10-year Treasury yield drops to the lowest level in more than a year as recession fears grow. Again, there's no such thing as stupid questions, though. Not here. So, again, keep them coming. I love it. Great contribution to the chat here today. Thank you. I mean, if you... So we're all set, ready to rock. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we have. Right now, we are waiting and watching. SPY. SPY traders. Little bit of an uptrend. We're going to nail this thing all the way back on down. So the SPY right here, team, as you guys can tell, we are still holding this uptrend. You basically have as of now, you have 2 game plans you can trade. 2 game plans. 2 game plans, and that's it. Okay? You have SPY holding the uptrend. You guys have dip buy and bounce play here. Close to dip buy and bounce play here. Dip buy and bounce play here. Next possibility for a possible trade, dip buy and bounce play right around here. So again, the next time the S&P 500 gets a little bit of a fade and gets a little bit of a drop, bounce, works its way back on up. Right? So S&P 500, make sure that you guys understand that you guys can go ahead, get dip buys and bounce plays off this current line. Now, the other opportunity would be if this line cracks. If we see, again, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, and then guess what? We actually start falling through this line. That could lead towards the next drop back to sub 515. So sub 515 could happen if, again, this trend line starts getting weaker, this trend line starts cracking, this trend line starts getting a little bit, a fade back on down here. So again, SPY still watching this. Seismic finally got into Thinkorswim. There you go. So hopefully by this time, Charles Schwab has allowed you to get back on in. Hopefully at this time, again, you're seeing Charles Schwab letting you back in. TOS is letting you in. Robinhood's letting you on in. Some of these other brokers are letting you on in. SPY still holding this uptrend. So current uptrend, I'm going to post a picture of this over in chat so every single person has this at this moment. SPY uptrend. Bulls have it as the bulls have it until the uptrend cracks. Guys, I have a prediction that I think is gonna happen. You guys want to hear it? I have a prediction of what I think is gonna happen today. And I feel like I've seen this before. I feel like I've seen this type of setup. I feel like I've seen this, idea. I feel like I've seen like what's gonna happen here. So I'm gonna make a prediction, okay, of what I think is going to happen. So I'm gonna kind of type this on out here. This is the prediction, okay? I have one prediction of what I believe the S&P 500 is gonna do, and right now it's 1019 in the market. We can see that the S&P 500 is at 518. What I think is gonna happen is I think we are going to have an afternoon sell-off. I think the S&P 500 is going to keep climbing the way it is right now, and we are going to form some sort of ascending triangle pattern. It's going to get a small break, and then it's going to dump this afternoon. So I think if I take a look over on the SPY, we can see we have this uptrend. We could see we definitely are going to have some sort of top resistance, probably right around this 520-ish mark. And if we want to continue the pattern, this is what I think is most likely going to be happening here. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to bring this on over, grab the S&P 500, and basically tell you what I think is going to be coming on up. So what I see here is I see SPY. I think if I continue this on out, let's go with a black line across the board here. Okay, awesome. Then we can also just continue this out. This right here, awesome. And I think the SPY is going to do something along this line. It's going to move sideways. It's going to move on up. It's going to come back on down. It's going to get closer into this corner. It's going to break out. And then I think it's going to dump this afternoon. This is kind of the idea of where I think things are going to start getting ugly and things are going to start turning. I think we are going to have a slow and steady climb towards the upside. So I think we are going to see slow and steady climbing back on up. We might see that high of the day, I still think, up towards around that 524 mark. But after we get up towards, I think, like 1 o'clock to 1:30, I think we are going to see some sort of sharp reversal that's going to get us closing back near where we started. I don't know if we're going to go all the way back on down towards 510, but I do think we could close all the way back on down towards around 515. I think for the next 2 hours, it's going to be slow and steady. I think the next 2 hours, we're going to see this up towards around 518, 519, a 520, pull back to 518. 518, 519, break on out before lunch hours, up towards around 524, and then for some reason or another, we get a sharp reversal back at the end of the day here. Back at the end of the day, that's when we start seeing the sell-off, and then overnight, we could possibly gap on down even lower. So, this is what I think is going to happen for the rest of the day. This is my idea. This is my plan, and I want to see if that's going to happen. So, what could you be looking for if we think that this is going to be the plan here? If this is going to be the idea here? Well, we could be looking for dip buys anywhere in the low 516s to the high 515s. If we could get a dip buy somewhere in the low 516s to the high 515s, that could be a great opportunity to work our way back up to 520. Or we wait until we get up to 525. Really, the best way we always want to be able to see these plays is, remember what I talked about earlier, is making sure that when we trade, it would be shocked if we lose. If we lose, it's wow, this play is, this market is really absurd at this moment. We know that the SPY has dropped all the way from 565 all the way on down towards around the price of 510, right? That's a massive drop. So traders said, hey, of course I'm going to get a dip buy pretty soon. And now the market's moving our way on up. And now we're basically between the price of 520 and we're basically between the price of 515. We want to go with the higher exteriors. We want to go with, all right, 525 up here, and we want to go all the way on down towards around, 510 down here, right? We could see how low these are. So the thing is, if you get a dip buy down towards this region, that's a great opportunity. It's going to actually move its way back on up. And if you have a, let's say, some sort of put contract up at high this region, there's a great area that it's going to turn back on down. Getting anywhere in the middle area is basically just a guessing game. In the middle area, maybe it's coming on down, maybe it's going on up, maybe it's going to consolidate for a little bit. You really want to try to nail those big outside borders. Those borders of, okay, hey, 515, 514, getting closer to 510, get ready for a nice dip buy and bounce buy. Going all the way up towards around 525, oh wow, that's so high. Let me get ready for a little bit of a reversal. Right? So these are things that you guys could definitely be watching. These are things that you guys can definitely be aware of. Right now, we are getting a little bit of a small crack. We'll see what we get coming up in the near future here. So we'll be watching this, obviously, over on the S&P 500. See what we get. Schwitzy, Dek, congrats on your golf tournament. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was, again, I did finish top 10. I'll take it, guys. Hey, first golf tournament I took. First golf tournament right here. Top 10, not too bad. There was 172 people entered. So 172 people entered. I finished in 10th. Okay? So you know what? I'll take it. I'll take 10th. 10th isn't bad. So won a little money, which is nice as well. I didn't win the big money, but I won a little bit of money, and I'll take it for, finishing top 10 there. So we are all set, ready to rock, ready to go. Schwitzy, what was your score? After 3 rounds, I was even. So basically just shot even. Guys, there's still a little bit of this bounce play over on the S&P 500. Jess, Dek, what do you think is going to happen next week? I mean, unfortunately, I can't say. I don't want to give you an answer on what I think is going to happen next week when we really can't, know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen this afternoon. So I don't want to really give a prediction on what I think is going to happen next week when we're just trying to figure out, day by day, hour by hour right now, right? There's so many, if you asked me, Dek, what do I think is going to happen next week at the price of 550? I would have never said in pre-market today we would have been at 507, right? That's how crazy sometimes the stock market has to be. Right now, SPY still getting a nice little bounce play, still working its way back on up here. Mohammed, all small caps disappear today? Absolutely. No one's going to be playing small caps today. When the S&P 500 is down 3% on the day, global markets are crashing, Bitcoin is crashing, every single trader is checking their retirement accounts. People do not care about penny stocks when the entire market is fading, right? You got to think about that. Who in the world's looking at penny stocks when their 401k is getting depleted? Who in the world's looking at a penny stock when, again, global markets are falling? Who in the world's looking at penny stocks when, again, Bitcoin's crashing? Who in the world's looking at the penny stock world when, again, we have a $50 drop in the stock market? Who in the world's looking at penny stocks when Warren Buffett is selling his Apple shares? Who in the world's looking at penny stocks when... Exactly, right? So it's like... I'm looking at penny stocks. I know you are. But the thing is, it comes on down to there's not enough attention. There's not enough money going through penny stocks when everyone is so fearful at this time. So it's like, I get it. It's like, oh, I'm looking at these plays right now. But it's like the funds aren't. Firms aren't. Big money's not looking at it. So right now, SPY right now, traders, watching this one. Seeing again, get a little bit of crash, see what's going to be happening. I still think, we're going to get another 520 touch. I still think we're going to get another 520 touch. I still think we're going to see a little 520 move. I still think we're going to see a little 520 hype break on through. Guys, take a look. SPY getting a little bit weaker here. SPY, first little like main pullback. We definitely could still be watching this. I'm going to connect some new dots over on the SPY. See how low this could possibly fall on down to. Here's again a rather large uptrend still by, connecting some bottom dots here. 513.50 area. Possible dip for that bounce back on up. So the S&P 500, remember the low of the day is 510.27. We've gotten all the way back on up towards around 520. We have a lot of support back on down towards around the 513.12 area. We have again dip buy area more up towards around that 513.60 mark. Deck, bounce play, a lot of support. Any thoughts on a possible dip buy? Dip buy, 513.60. Thinking about it. For a possible dip buy. Remember, we're trying to get in on big sides of the spectrum. We get in on very low sides of the spectrum for dip buys. We get in on very high sides of the spectrums for, again, put contracts. So right now, traders, S&P 500, we are keeping our eyes peeled over on this one. Want to see if we are going to get a drop on down. I would always trade SPX. I always like to, again, be trading SPX here. So we are watching the SPY at this moment, traders. What is this area? 513.40? 513.40 area. I'm just going to check out a little SPX action. Point SPX. See what I could do if I want to get involved on this. August 7th. Call contracts. SPX at the price of 5,165. It's gotten up to 5,190. 5,185 call contracts, market orders, 2 contracts. Kind of like something around this area. I think this could be very solid for a possible dip buy. This contract, bounce play. Trying to see if I can get filled off this purple line here. Be able to just make a few, few bucks. We do have a little bit of this big upper shadow. Again, this is the main uptrend over on the S&P 500. Main uptrend over on the S&P 500 so far. For trading contracts on Lightspeed, do we need to call them to activate that? You just need to just sign off that you want to trade options. So again, yes, you have to just contact Lightspeed and say, I'm looking to trade options. I would like to, again, have an option order box on my platform, and they will, again, add a button so that you can be able to buy contracts. Right now, team, I'm just waiting to see where is this momentum going to take us here. If we can get that little drop on down, probably we'll look for a dip buy. We'll look for a dip buy. We'll look for a fade. It seems like it's doing still my game plan. Again, what's my prediction? As I said, team, a lot of consolidation right now. A lot of consolidation at this moment. Still S&P 500 working its way back on up. And again, why is it working its way back on up? We have the bounce, we got the bounce, we got the bounce. Still climbing. S&P 500 still getting after it here. Reese, I'm more just looking at, chart setup and where, again, my bounces are going to be at, the targets that I want to be able to get involved in. So again, I want to see if the S&P 500 came on down to that low 514 area. I think the SPY is going to go on a little bit of a rally here. Again, remember, what's my game plan? Up towards around 525. So I do think the S&P 500 is going to continue to climb. I think the S&P 500 is going to get up towards around 525. If you guys are interested on calls. And then again, this afternoon, I think is where we start getting that reversal. So I still think we are going to go above 520. So prediction, just want to type it on out. We see 524 on the SPY before an end of the day sell off back down to 516. We're now traders. We still are inside this little consolidation. I mean, hey, we have gone over a lot of information. All right, we've gone over a lot of information today. I know, again, we've seen a lot. We've talked about a lot. Of course, we have Fox Runner going over a ton of stuff as well so that you guys can always get prepared and you guys are all set right over there. Taking a look over on CNBC.com. Obviously, we have talked about a lot of this. What we have, Dow drops 1,000 points, NASDAQ craters. And what's most likely going to happen? If I had to say, what's my outlook? My outlook at this moment is I do think that in September now, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve are going to cut interest rates. Because they're going to say there's too much pressure on them. Basically, the American people are like too on them at this point. I feel like if they don't cut interest rates, we're going to see another drop. Like people are probably starting to get a little bit more upset that we're not, cutting interest rates yet. So that's definitely something that we want to be aware of. I mean, all of crypto is down right now, team. Crypto's taking a beating at this moment. Crypto got all the way on down towards, 49,000. Now it bounced back up towards around 53,000. Over the past year, you can see everything that's going on. Dak, any thoughts on UPXI? Mohammed, I know you love penny stocks. I will say, for me, I'm not touching one penny stock. I don't even want to look at one penny stock. The thing is, think about it like this, okay? Think about it like this at this moment. If you, again, are looking at penny stocks here, it is almost like you are the odd man out. Now, I always say I want you to be different, right? I always want you to be outside the bubble. But I'm not talking about, I'm talking about that as like mindset for the average American, not people that are investors. If we want to think about, here's the SPY, here are penny stocks, okay? So here's the SPY, here's penny stocks. Now what we have is here is every single day, we have hundreds of thousands of millions of people that get to wake up and choose what they want to do. And obviously, the more people that go to one side or the other is going to lead towards more volume. And as we know, more volume equals more activity, and more activity is going to equal more movement, which equals more profit. If we have 1 million people trading in the stock market today, probably again that's going to be the majority of them are going to say, hey, I am going over here. Then guess what? We are going to have one guy, two guys go over here. The thing is, I just wouldn't even mess with penny stocks today. I just wouldn't even get myself involved with penny stocks today. I just wouldn't even trade it, because the thing is, you're most likely going to end up getting stuck. You're most likely going to end up, getting caught up in a play. You're most likely going to end up saying to yourself, man, I really wish I didn't get involved in that. So yes, while UPXI is moving itself on up at this moment, it is just like, it's just one that I'd be very, very careful about. So right here, traders, SPY still holding on up. Getting tighter and tighter inside that ascending triangle wedge. So remember, team, you know my prediction. You know what I'm thinking here. We already have a little bit, a little bit of what I already think is going to be happening. Right? It's already starting to work on out. What I already believe is going to be happening here, traders. And and the cool thing is, I think some of you guys probably agree with me. Probably some of you guys agree with me a little bit here on what you think might be happening, what you think might be coming on up here. I want to see if I could do this. Don't save. Yeah, so I always do everything I do over on this handy dandy little thing we call paint, baby. I think, again, as I said, S&P 500. Let me move this off to the side here. What I think is going to be happening is the S&P 500 is going to form this ascending triangle pattern. So we need this ascending triangle pattern to form, essentially. I don't want it that big. But I think the S&P 500 has to form this ascending triangle pattern. And as the S&P 500 forms this pattern, we are going to see a nice breakout. We are going to see a nice move. We are going to see a nice climb. We're going to see this S&P 500 be able to actually, get that main squeeze that we want. So, if we just kind of trace this on out here a little bit, we got the S&P 500 bouncing, got the S&P 500 moving itself on up, doing its thing, going all the way across the board. Drop it on down, bouncing on up here, drop it on down, bouncing its way. And then again, I think we are going to see a couple spikes, couple pullbacks, spike on up towards a new high. And then I think this afternoon is where we basically are going to get that very large dump. So this is kind of more of my prediction that I have. I think this is going to start happening more around that, 2 p.m. time, 2 p.m. Eastern, where we start seeing that reversal, where we start seeing, that fade, where we start seeing some struggling. So I think this price right here, this is going to be right around 520. This price way up here is going to be right around that 524 mark. 524 area. I think right around 2 o'clock, we start, kind of hitting that top area. And then I think, by 4 o'clock, we're back on down towards around the price around 516. So this is, again, prediction of what I think is going to be coming on up. Right around there. I like it. Pretty good. Right now, you guys can see a lot of consolidation. Right now, no reason to trade for anyone. Right now, not until that breaks. No reason to trade for anyone right now. Every single person, stay smart. Every single person, use your head. Every single person say to themselves, all right, hey, no reason to force. No reason to put myself in any sort of bad place. $10.44 in this market. We're going to give this some time. Watching to see again which way we're going to break outside of the wedge, break outside the triangle. Obviously, the morning time is always extremely hot. The morning time is always extremely hot. The morning is always when we see some of the best momentum, best action, best hype towards us. Now, also, guys, if you guys do have any questions, comments, or concerns, right now is a great time to ask me. Adam, a lot of consolidation because no one can access their accounts over on TOS or any of that. If you're still having an issue, yeah, you definitely have to go ahead and if you have any issues with TOS or Schwab or any of that, definitely make sure you guys go ahead and talk to support. Right, you got to call support. I'm sure they're getting so many people hitting them on up. Right now, SPY, we are staying alert here, team. Traders, again, I'm going to be talking about it a lot this week. Next Monday is the summer boot camp. Remember, traders, the only way you have access to the summer boot camp is by being on a 6-month, 12-month, or a lifetime membership. If you guys, again, want to join the boot camp, it's 30 days long, 3 days with each mentor, 10 different mentors. Head on over, click the membership that you guys want, type in the word boot camp, click apply, and you will get 10% off. You'll be all set, ready to go, and you will get a link over the weekend so that you're all set, ready to rock and roll for Monday. So again, make sure you guys go over there, type in the word boot camp, get 10% off. You'll be all set for the boot camp. If you miss out on this boot camp, there will be no recording that you can buy. If you miss out on this boot camp, we're not putting it in the video library. If you miss out on this boot camp, you miss out on this boot camp. It's the last one we're ever doing. 10 different traders. It took me so long to get all these traders together to agree to do this boot camp all at the same time, to organize every single date, to teach you all their strategies. So if you miss it, I mean, if you miss it, you miss it. I don't really know. I mean, it comes on down to it's the best thing I could possibly do for you. If I put together 10 different full-time traders all wanting to teach you how to trade, I don't think there's anything that can beat that. So make sure that you guys are all set, ready to go. Make sure that you guys are all good. Type in boot camp. You guys will get, again, a discount. And then on top of that, you will get your link over the weekend. So you have access to the boot camp and you'll be all ready to rock. So, man, excited to see where this volume is going to take us. We got a little bit of time, though, to kill most likely as we consolidate to more sideways movement. Right now, SPY. Deck, what if I want to trade? Next trades would be, again, low 513s for dip buys. 513s for potential dip buys are the next opportunities for you. Right now, team, any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. SPY moving a little bit sideways at this time. It really comes on down to I'm looking for a break, and then I think after an hour, it's going to break the opposite way. It really comes on down to traders to that ascending triangle pattern. I think, we're going to nail this play. Now, Dek, what if all of a sudden we start seeing this thing spike up to 524 and we start seeing it reverse and reverse and reverse? Would you hold it overnight? I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to hold anything overnight, especially on how volatile this market is and how anything could possibly happen. But what I will say is once the S&P 500 hits one of my targets, if that means it's starting to crack underneath 510, I think we could go down to 505. Or if we spike up to 524, I think we're going to fall back down to 516. So it's either you are looking for dip buys and bounce plays at around 513 to bounce back up to 524, or you're waiting for 524 to drop back on down towards around 516 and hopefully 510 and then hopefully 503. So it's either call contracts. Call contracts are going to be probably right around this region in the 513s. Put contracts are going to be up above the high of the day, up near this region. Now, if you want to do other put contracts, you're doing put contracts as well, back on down towards 510 or so. So your call contracts, the only one that I really like is near the uptrend, but honestly, wait for a little crack underneath the uptrend, then get involved into it. So it's either call contracts at 513 or put contracts up at 524, or if we crack through everything, put contracts all the way back on down to 510 for new lows of the day. Right now, SPY still again watching this. Waiting to see 1051 in this market. Also, team, let's think about this. I wanna take a moment here, traders, because this is a little interesting. Okay? Now, what's so interesting about the market at this time? Hold on, let me break this on down. So, guys, if we take a look over on the SPY, okay? The S&P 500 right now is full on panic mode. Every single person is standing up and saying, this is awful. The S&P 500 is dumping. The S&P 500 is falling like we have never seen. Traders, the S&P 500 has given back this month's gains, last month's gains, and May's gains. Now, the thing is, yes, it's a nice drop. But at the same time, the S&P 500 is still up a huge amount for the year. I would be concerned if the SPY was red on the year. If the SPY gave back more than, let's say, 10, 15, 20%. But if we take a look over on the S&P 500 and we go year to date, the year to date on the S&P 500, it's up 9.31%. What's the average return on the S&P 500? So SPY ETF average return, average annual return is the S&P 500 average annual return is going to be 9.9%. So hold on a second, guys. Let's think about something. Why in the world is every single person panicking? Everyone's going crazy right now. The stock market's falling. Recession's coming on up. This is the worst we've ever seen it. Guys, the average return on the stock market's up 9.9%. This year to date, we take a look over on the S&P 500, it's up 9.5%. This whole entire drop that we have had so far this year has just put us back to where we're supposed to be. So the entire drop here really just comes on down to the pure fact that this is now normal. This is now where we're supposed to be at. This is now the average. So let's think about it in a different manner, team. Let's say, again, we're watching someone has a basketball in their hands, and they throw up a shot from half court, and it sinks in. You would say, yeah. And they throw up another shot from half court, and it sinks in. And another shot from half court, and sinks in. And then all of a sudden, he misses one. And you start saying, whoa. And he misses another. You say, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he misses another. Guys, you're not supposed to probably be making half-court shots consistently. It's too far. The odds are against you of making that. If you're, again, just throwing up half-court shots, sure, it might, you might go on a little streak. You might get a little lucky. You might hit some shots. But you shouldn't be shocked if you start missing them. Obviously, it's a very far shot. And you shouldn't be shocked if the S&P 500 is outperforming, basically making all these crazy half-court shots, going up every single month, going up every single week, hitting highs of 19% on the year, biggest years ever in 6 months. Guys, that's not real. That's not realistic. So falling back to reality is a much better place where we want to be anyway. So the S&P 500, this is all normal to me. So you want to see, again, this over on this play. We're back. Back to normal. Back to where we're supposed to be. Right now, S&P 500 traders. S&P 500 here. Still got a long way to go. Got ourselves all the way back. S&P 500 got a long way to go here. It's going to take some time to build, but as you guys can all see, at some point throughout today, and I'm thinking a little after lunch hours, it's going to get to that corner. And once we get to that corner, that's when we're going to squeeze. Traders, if I may add something here, I'm excited to be back. I know last week I wasn't here. I know last week I again took some time on off. I was getting prepared for the summer boot camp, making sure logistics were correct, making sure scheduling was good, getting information from all these mentors, and making sure everything is all set, ready to get dialed in here. So I'm fired on up. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to go here. But the thing is, I'm fired up to be back. To be again live streaming, to get ready for some live trades, to be getting with you every single day, making sure education is on top point, game plans are on top point, you guys are feeling confident every single day while trading, knowing again, okay, I have a game plan now. I know at the start of the day sometimes things get a little hectic. I know at the start of the day sometimes things get a little bit wild. I know at the start of the day traders saying to themselves, ooh, I don't know which way I should be going. I don't know which way is going to be happening. I don't know which way this market's going to be going towards next. So the S&P 500 here, team. We want to, of course, be staying alert. We want to, of course, be staying on top of this. But just, getting back on the stream, it feels good. We were close to a civil war last week in the chats. I hope not. Guys, hey, I know sometimes I step out of the office and all of a sudden the kids start going crazy. But I missed you as well. Feels good to be back. It feels good to be here. Live streaming with the squad, live streaming with the team. I know. It's like the week I leave, everything dumps. Guys, I feel like, I'll be honest, I feel like if I took a few more days off the stock market, I'll come back and it's at 450. Isn't that how it works? Has anyone ever done that before? Has anyone said, I cannot wait for the stock market to drop? You know what? I'm going to take this afternoon off. I'm going to go walk the dog. You take the afternoon off and guess what happens? The S&P 500 drops $25. You say, what the heck? You say, oh man, I've been holding GameStop for the last 3 years. Everyone makes fun of me. You know what? I'm going to finally sell it. I'm going to sell my GameStop. You sell GameStop, the next week it goes on a monster spike all the way up towards $100. Has anyone ever gone through anything like that? Have you guys ever gone through one of those phases where the moment you get out, the moment you don't show up to work, the moment again you sell your play is the moment that everything takes on off, the moment the market dumps, the moment that you've been waiting for finally happens? Things get crazy. Things get nuts here. Right now, SPY. Traders, so far prediction is good. So far prediction's good. We all know the ascending triangle pattern. We all know what's coming on up. We all have the idea of what we're focusing on here. This is the true prediction that I have. All it is here's the SPY was moving on up. We have a nice little top. And now, of course, we're looking for this, bounce play that's going to bring us back on up towards that top. A little bit of a pullback, bring us up towards around 525. Finish off the day with some big weakness all the way back on down. I know, again, the Japan's market. Guys, I'll be honest, never been to Japan. I like it, though. I think Japan's a pretty cool place. Never been there, but their stock market is getting destroyed at this moment. It says, Japan's market logs worst day since 1987 black market crash. Japanese stocks crash in the biggest one-day drop ever. Whoa. Dow plunges more than 900 points off again, global sell-off. So what's this here, team? I want to take a look. It says Japanese stocks crash in biggest one-day drop ever as global market rout intensifies. So Japanese stocks suffered their biggest ever daily loss Monday as fears about a U.S. economic slowdown sent shockwaves through global markets. We are seeing that Tokyo lost a staggering 4,451 points. Its biggest drop in history. The index closed more than 12% down, taking its losses since early July to 25% and entering bear market territory. I mean, you fall 12% in the day, you fall again early July, 25%. We're not in bear market territory. We're in full panic mode. That was a crash. It smelled like 1987. Fears of sharp slowdown in the U.S. economy have raised expectations that the Federal Reserve will have to slash interest rates, coming as the Bank of Japan, BOJ, takes its interest rates higher to contain inflation. That's boosting the value of the yen against the U.S. dollar, making Japanese exports stocks less attractive. So as you guys can see here, what's so nuts about this is that so many people, right? So many people rely not on Japan, on the United States. Isn't that crazy to be thinking about? Like, that's the responsibility. And that's the thing that I want you guys to realize about this. Is the presidential elections. People get so involved in politics and people give so much into it is because there's so much that goes from the United States that has ripple effects on other people and other countries. Japan, biggest crash in the one-day history. And it all came on down because we are raising expectations on what's going to happen in the U.S. economy. Is the U.S. economy going to have a slowdown? And since the U.S. economy could possibly have a slow on down, that's leading to Japan already having crashing. Now imagine again, the United States does have a slowdown. Well, we are going to see Europe possibly crash. We can see China crash. We can see this crash, that crash, right? That's the kind of the big thing. Fears of a sharp slowdown in the U.S. economy have raised expectations that the Federal Reserve will have to slash interest rates. That's going to make Japanese exports dependent stocks less attractive. It's a big ripple effect. What we do affects other countries. What we do affects other living. That's what we need to be able to gauge here. So the U.S. economy, I know sometimes we wake up and we're playing and it's like, oh, hey, we're trading stocks. Ooh, green and red. Ooh, I like this candle. Ooh, I like this candle. Ooh, what indicator do you use? Right? I know, again, sometimes it's like that. But it's also, it affects hundreds of millions of people. So it is a very big responsibility. Right now, SPY traders still getting this little bounce here. SPY still trying to get a little bit of this bounce at this moment. So we are still holding on up. Still holding on up at this time. 11:04 in this market. 11:04 at this time, watching the SPY. Remember, traders, we want to see it. I think we're going to get a couple nice bounces. Now, if you're in on calls right now, you can definitely be on calls at this moment. As long as that purple line holds, you're good. As long as that purple line holds, you're good. But it's when the purple line crashes where things start coming alive. When that purple line goes back underneath 515, 514, 513, people start panicking. And as people start panicking, we'll either see a sharp bounce right back on up that could lead towards that spike up to 525, or we see that strong reversal all the way back on down towards around 510. But if we say, oh, Dek, you're not trading at this moment. Team, we have been moving sideways from the price of 518, from the price of 515 for the past, how long? Since 9:40 in the morning. Since 9:40 in the morning, we have been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Guys, here comes the SPY, starting to get a little bit of that bounce back on up. Take a look at Japan ETFs. Ooh, thank you. Let's take a look at some of these. Japan ETFs. Let's see what we got. How's these Japan ETFs looking? We got EWJ. EWJ, the Japanese index, has gone from $71 down to $60. FLJP, $30, $26. So we are seeing again these nice drops. Thank you for a little heads on up here. EWJV. So all of these obviously very big Japanese. Thank you, Gator Trader. I'm going to share some of those. Make sure everyone's aware of those. Japan ETFs. See again the big market drop there. SPY moving sideways still. We're still waiting on this one. We have the SPY team. Here comes a little bit of that bounce over on the SPY. Anyone in on anything right now? Guys, kind of just curious. Is there anyone, I can say this in two ways. Is there anyone in on call contracts looking for the big dip buy? Was there anyone in on put contracts from 560 all the way on down to 510? Is there anyone here that's no longer with us because they were in on put contracts and currently they're in at the Ferrari dealership just tuning in real quick? There might be a few people that said, Dek, I did put contracts over the weekend and I'm going to retire my parents now. I mean, that's the beauty of stock trading. If you did a put contract over the weekend and you held it over the weekend, you probably have a set salary for the next 5 years. Guys, here comes the SPY starting to work itself back on up. This is, again, something I do think the SPY could work itself back up towards around 520 or so, right? I think the SPY could work itself back up towards 520, start building itself up in this ascending triangle pattern here. Guys, here comes a little bit of that squeeze. Coming back on up. Over on the S&P 500, predictions working perfectly. Prediction is working perfectly so far. Here comes that new pop that we're supposed to get. So new pop is supposed to be coming on up. This is my prediction. Come on up towards, again, kind of like the high of the day area. Maybe even a new high of the day. Looking for a little bit of a climb here. So prediction still right on pace. I'll repost that for you guys. There you go. Pasta Boy just did a small position, jumped in and out, made $500. I love that. Kaka making, again, $5,000 over on MSTR. I love that. Shout out to you. Here comes the SPY with another little dip buy or another, move on up here. I think we're going to hit a new high, come back on down, hit that 524, 525, and then slowly fade off at the end of the day here. Right now, we are again watching the S&P 500, seeing where this move is going to be going towards next. S&P 500, 519s. I think it's going to pop on up towards those 520s here very soon. I like how SMCI has been dropping so much. You know, SMCI is having a big green day, though, today. SMCI, one of his best green days in a while. You know, SMCI almost had a streak of red. Red. This is like SMCI's first green day in how long? Maybe a month? So SMCI has had red days for basically about a month. What would you guys say about the AI sector right now? Let me ask you guys something. Do you think the AI trend is currently over? Is anyone here saying, Dek, I think AI is dead? Like, AI is over. AI, it's like, the trend is officially over. This has broken the AI trend. A new trend can now develop. A new setup can now develop. Something new can now happen. So I'm going to say, I don't think AI is dead, but I definitely think AI is slowly fading. As in, like, the hype, the love, the excitement. You know, it's slowly fading. Something else in the future definitely could take its place. Something else in its future is, I think, you know, could definitely step on up here pretty soon. Let's see here. There's again S&P 500. There's the S&P 500 break. Guys, so again, following the game plan. I think we are going to spike on up another about $4 to $5 here. Not right now at this moment. Over the next 2 hours. Over the next 2 hours, the S&P 500 is going to consolidate right around this area. And then again, spike another, you know, $2 to $3. Follow the prediction. Follow that chart setup. That's what I really believe is going to be happening here coming on up. So, SPY, nice little move. Watch our new high of the day. And then I think up near around 522 or so, we have another pullback back down to 520. Then I think we get one more pop up towards around 524, 525. And I think that's going to be the high. So I think the high is going to be in place somewhere right around like 2 o'clock-ish. Then I think we start turning. Then I think we start dropping. Then I think we start getting weaker. So here's a little bit of that pullback right now, team. And remember, you can do puts at the highs, do call contracts down low. That's all we're looking for. Put contracts at the high, call contracts down low. Right now, SPY still again waiting on this team. You know, we are going to wrap up for lunch hours pretty soon. and obviously, you know, just follow this game plan. And, you know, once we get to that point, you know, yes, I will be here this afternoon. I will be again live streaming this afternoon. I will be talking this afternoon. I will again be looking to be able to get involved in my trade this afternoon. So I do want every single person to be aware of that. This is not a goodbye, see you tomorrow. This is, we are letting the S&P 500 develop, and we are getting all set, ready to go for this afternoon. Okay? So I want to make sure every single person is set. And I also just want to open up the floor right here. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? If that's on Tradecaster, if that's on YouTube, if that's again about the summer boot camp, if that is, you know, anything that you guys need. So please just let me know. Right now, the SPY 524, 525 is what we want as our target high, but we want that at prime again, like lunch hours. So the afternoon we start turning back on down. We do think the SPY is going to move on up here a little bit. Bounce plays are down towards 516. Reversals are right around 520. We are expecting a quick little break though towards around some new highs before we start reversing back on down even lower. So I know it's a little bit of consolidation at this moment. Man, it was just, you know, this morning in pre-market, seeing the market all the way down towards, again, 507. Oh, that is insane. To see the stock market all the way down near 507, that is ridiculous. That is so low. That is such a big drop all the way on down towards 507. And now the S&P 500 trying to bounce its way back on up. Now the S&P 500 trying to climb, get back up above that 520-ish mark. I mean, we're still down 2.4% on the day. I know we are bouncing back on up about, you know, $10 from these bottoms. But at the same time, we're still down 2% on the day. That's still a good drop. And I'm hoping that we can close all the way back down near around 3% on the day. I'm hoping that we fall back on down towards 515 and maybe we gap on down to sub 510 overnight. Overnight's going to be a very wild time as well. We'll talk about that this afternoon. But we will see. We'll see. Abe, I love you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, Abe. And traders, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. We know the game plan. We know the idea. We know what's coming on up here. We are going to get ourselves all prepared and all set for this afternoon. And we are going to be jumping back on the mic whenever we start getting that turn. Could be 2 o'clock, could be 2:30. So just be prepared. We're going to take about a 2-hour break for lunch. We'll be watching this market, but we will be jumping back on the mic, getting ourselves prepared, and rocking and rolling. As you guys also know, 7 days away, summer boot camp. Monthly membership will not have access to it. Use the boot camp keyword, boot camp, 10% off. You guys will have access to all the traders. You guys must sign up before, again, Friday, or you guys will not have the 10% off discount. So make sure you guys take advantage of it. All right? Other than that, I will see you guys back here this afternoon. We will be all set, ready to rock and roll. I'm so fired on up. I want to see this market reverse and drop. We do expect it to hit a new high, pull back, hit 525, then start turning and dumping this afternoon. That is the prediction. That's the game plan. Okay? So, team, thank you for welcoming me back after a little week-long off of streaming, and welcoming me back with some open arms and love. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you guys more than you know. I love being here. I love this community. I love this family that we have created, and I hope you guys have a wonderful lunch hours. Stay smart, stay safe. And you guys know we're coming back firing. We're ready to go. Big trade this afternoon. Let's get ready to rock and let's get ready to do it. If you guys are going to be trading with me this afternoon, if you guys are going to be getting ready to go this afternoon, if you guys are fired up for, again, what we're going to be getting after with this reversal, looking for an overnight crack, team, let's get ready to do it. You guys know the drill here, baby. Get excited. Turn on up. Let's get ready to do it in the matter of 3, 2, 1. Ah! Baby, oh baby, oh baby. I love you. I'll see you guys back here later on, and we will be all set, ready to rock. Man, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you so much, team. You guys are fantastic. And again, follow that game plan, follow that setup. I'm in chat all day. I'm not going anywhere. Hit me up if you need me. Let's do this as a team.
Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like a brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by
I love Tradecaster.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Just a friendly reminder. Over the past 12 months, how much money did you make day trading using your strategy?
$551,000.
That kind of money, it's like you know what you're doing.
Sean knows his stuff.
So this is exactly how I did it.
Perfect.
I want everyone to go trade.
Go! Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Anything else?
It wasn't pleasant. That was during lunch hours.
Take some pictures.
Now we're up $1,200!
We got some action right here.
$2,000, $760.
If I tell you how I was able to do this, go out and make that money, you make a killing.
Can we start getting ourselves in the green somehow? Get it, people! A bot sell man making HUDI $1,000. Ollie with a $327 trade. Boom, guys. $989 profit. 2,600. Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! You guys want to see something good today? We're bringing something good to the house.